What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Tactics, looking scruffy as ever. Look at that. Look at that. This shit's furry and gross, man. It's nasty. Don't worry. I'm gonna cut it eventually. The reason why I'm maintaining this right now is because I have a wedding to go to this Sunday, and I have this process that I do whenever it comes to an event that I have to prepare for, where I have to, look decent. And basically, it's if I know the specific date of an event, then I usually will wait a certain amount of time to cut my hair and shave and everything. That way, because when you cut your hair, I don't know if some of you guys can relate to this, but for me anyway, sometimes when I get my hair cut, I don't necessarily like it the first day, but after a couple of days after it's been washed and it's had time to kind of grow in, it kind of grows in like the way you want it, and it looks all nice and shit. So yeah, I'm kind of taking into that process where let's say I cut it on Thursday, get my hair cut and everything. I won't like it on Thursday, but come Sunday, when it's time to go to the wedding, by that time, I would have had ample time for my hair to grow out the way I like it, and I can look prime and proper for this wedding. So, yeah, that's why I've been looking kind of gross the past couple of days. I don't know why I'm telling you this. That's not even important. It's not the point of this video. Well, I like to share it with you guys and everything like that. I don't get to vlog as much, so bear with me. But anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys about, and don't worry, I'm not really venting. I know I kind of went on a little vent trip the last time I did this vlog, but no. I've been doing a lot of reflecting. Whoa, that was my phone. Sorry. I've been doing a lot of reflecting on my life, pertaining to relationships mainly, and for the last 5 or so years, every now and then I would kind of just ponder to myself why it's been such a challenge for me to maintain a healthy and long-term relationship. Within that time, within those 5 years, I've been with a lot of women, and I'm not saying that to brag or gloat or anything like that. In fact, I don't really think you could really. I don't think that's really anything to brag about, depending on how you look at it. But yeah, like every time I'd meet a girl or whatever, I'd get into relations with them, and obviously, in the beginning things are great in the early stages of any kind of courtship, and then all of a sudden things would just become a chaotic mess, and most of the time the relationships wouldn't last that long, and I never really understood why. I kind of always blamed the women, that I was involved with for why things didn't work out. And mind you, there were some girls who were just kind of crazy and, couldn't, I just couldn't cope. But I was talking to my friend, Umar, the other day. I was at his house, we were just kicking it and kind of just like shooting the shit, talking about relationships and all that guy shit that we talk about when girls aren't around. And me and him haven't really. We're now just kind of starting to talk about certain things regarding like relationships and stuff, and him and I have never really had that kind of heart to heart before. And so it was kind of interesting to get his perspective on how he looks at relationships and his whole ideology on how a person should act and whatnot and stuff in a relationship or when you're dating and whatnot. So, and in turn, I kind of expressed my views and told him my experience, my past experiences and whatnot. And interestingly enough, while I was talking to him about it, I subconsciously kind of just was like I had an epiphany in my head when I was explaining it to him, and I can't remember verbatim what I was saying, but it kind of it suddenly hit me why I've been having issues with maintaining like a steady relationship, and mainly it was because of the fact that I'm afraid of love. I'm afraid of not really love per se, but I'm afraid of the, I guess, the process, the whole transition into love, and then having it fizzle away or just like kind of like die out, for lack of a better term, kind of thing. And I mean, this is common amongst most people. Like most people, for most people, like love is a very scary thing, especially if you've experienced it, like I have, and yeah. And one of the primary reasons is because of the all the situations or all the circumstances in which I have been in love and had it, like, I guess, again, for lack of a better term, blown up in my face. I've been in 3 situations where I've been in love, or at least I thought I was in love. And, obviously none of them really went according to plan, as, I mean, love never really does go according to plan. But yeah, I actually stumbled upon, and sorry, I'm all over the place, but there's a point to this video, so bear with me. But I actually stumbled upon a bunch of just short little, I guess you can call them like poems or spoken word pieces that I wrote down during my experience with these certain situations in which I was in love or felt love of some kind, right? And so there was a point in time very recently where I had made a discovery that kind of didn't sit too well with me. And as a lot of you guys know who are avid watchers of my stuff, especially this channel, the vlog channel, you're very familiar with basically the chick who started it all for me, and is the reason why I'm doing YouTube right now today. Well, not today, but the reason why I started anyway. And that girl was Susanna, or as more commonly known as Susie on here, because I did a whole fucking hour-long vlog on her. But yeah, like her and I, we had broken up in back in '09, and it was one of the hardest breakups I had ever gone through because she was probably the one, like she was like the only girl who I was willing to just like give it all up for, like I would have been like, yo, I would have married this chick, you know what I mean? And of course, things didn't work out, as a lot of you guys know. I'm not going to reiterate all that shit, but yeah, we didn't work out, and it was hard. It was a hard thing for me to go through, and then, and yeah, for a long time, we kind of severed ties and we weren't talking, and then, all of a sudden, like, there were times when she would, like, there was, like, this one time when she kind of just messaged me out of nowhere, and she, was just calling me to say hi and check up on me, and, like, I remember the feeling I felt when I heard her voice for the first time in such a long time, and it was, I can't even explain it. I was just so, I felt like a little boy on Christmas opening his first gift. You know what I mean? And as corny as that sounds, like I just hearing her voice made me feel special. You know, like I felt good. I felt relieved and happy momentarily. You know, just I wasn't getting my hopes up and saying, oh, well, okay, this could lead to something or anything. It wasn't anything like that. It was just hearing her voice just made me feel good. And you know, we talked for a while, and like you know, we caught up a little bit, and we had made plans to you know, to meet up and kind of just shoot the shit and see where things would see where things would go, but just kind of catch up on old times and stuff like that. And ultimately, we didn't end up meeting up because she kind of retracted her offer to meet up because she felt it might be awkward and maybe it just wasn't the right time or anything. And I kind of agreed, and I was just like, okay, well, you know, maybe given some time, we can be at a place where we can be civil and sit down and, you know, just be okay and just be friends and, you know, keep it moving like that. And so, despite that, like, you know, like the conversations kind of like, they didn't exactly fizzle out, but they were like more sporadic, more spaced out. I mean, she would call me on my birthday, and I would message her on her birthday and whatnot. And yeah, you know, things were good. I had no hopes of us, you know, even getting back together. I know, like, even if I wanted to, that would just never, it would never work, just because we're just two different people, and our views on how we approach relationships are totally different. But you know, you kind of forget about the logical side of things when it comes to love and all that. So I kind of negated that part of my brain that was telling me, okay, you know, don't fall into this little thing again. And so yeah, you know, we would talk. We wouldn't go into detail about, you know, if we're seeing other people, or, you know, whatever the case may be. It was kind of just like catching up on life, minus what was happening in our relationships or whatever the case may be. I didn't know about her status. She didn't know about mine. And then last year, around November, which was her birthday, you know, I'm following up with the regular routine, going on her Facebook to wish her a happy birthday, and I come to find that she's engaged to be married to a Russian guy. And she had already changed her name, and her profile pic was the wedding dress and the whole nine, man. And man, when I saw that, I was devastated, like crushed, like it was like we broke up all over again. Like, not as intense, because man, I went through a pretty bad or a pretty hard time during that time. But yeah, it wasn't a good sight to see, and knowing that she had moved on with her life. And not like, I don't want to say that I was upset because of the fact that I wasn't over her. I think it was more or less the fact that, you know, like, I don't know, it was like she wanted so, like, when we were together, she wanted so badly to like move out and to get married, and she was pressuring me to do it. And like, at the time, I was young, man. I was still in college, and, you know, I wasn't ready to tie the knot so soon. You know, I still had other stuff that I needed to do, figure out what I wanted to become and do with my life before even thinking that far ahead. And she was just so adamant about, you know, starting a new life and starting that chapter. And just seeing her get to that level, after all this time, and then reflecting back on my life, and realizing that I'm still in the same position I was 5 years ago right now. Like, I'm not working the job that I want to work, that I want to be in. The YouTube stuff, not like, even now, even more than ever, it's like, we already know the issue with the whole YouTube thing. And on top of that, I'm nowhere near close to getting married. Not that I want to get married anytime soon, but I mean, I'm not even in a relationship. Again, not that I want to be in a relationship. It's just like, I feel like I haven't made a whole lot of progression. Like, once I saw that she was married and she had all those things that she had set out to do and to obtain, reflect, like, in comparison to me, it was kind of like, okay, well, this is what she was doing within that 5 years that we were apart, and within that 5 years, what the fuck was I doing? Why have I only been making such small progression? And I know that's kind of, I don't know what the word is, but it's not a good way of thinking, but yeah, that's kind of just how I felt, and a part of me still kind of missed her, and when I guess a part of me still kind of had that naive way of thinking, in which I thought that there was a possibility, like a slim possibility, that we might get back together. Again, my logical side was saying, hell no, nigga, that shit ain't happening at all. Like, you guys are completely different. Y'all remember the fights. It didn't work out the first time. Nothing's gonna change. Whatever. But that little ouch was like, like, maybe, like, times of, all this time apart has made you guys better people, and you guys are much more mature, much more older, and things might be different this time around. So yeah, when I saw that she was, engaged, it kind of put the nail in the coffin, and it was like, it's really fucking over. Like, it's done. Like, I already knew it was done, but like, when a chick has a ring on her finger, like, it's pretty much fucking over. Like, so yeah, that was kind of hard to digest when I saw that, and I don't know, I got really, really depressed, and then I don't know, in that state, I just started writing some shit down, and I'm not a spoken word expert by any means, but I just felt I was just in the zone and felt the need to express myself in the best way I could. And I don't really dance anymore, and dancing used to be an outlet for me to express myself, and I just don't have that same passion for dance as I once did. And I didn't feel like there was nothing I could think of in this situation where I could make it funny, so make like anything funny in regards to like a skit or something. So I got into just writing, and I wrote a lot. Like, I wrote the spoken word piece, which which I actually recited on video, on camera, and pieced it together last night, and I'm going to upload it on Thursday. Now, mind you, this is, I don't do spoken word. I've never done it before. I don't even know if I did it properly. I don't know what the proper format is for spoken word. I don't even know if my shit makes sense. It was just stuff that I felt, and I just kind of jotted down whatever came to my mind in that moment, and put it on paper, and kind of forgot about it, and then stumbled upon it again and put it in a video. And so yeah, when you watch it, just keep that in mind. I'm not an expert by any means, so don't be too critical. But yeah, and then so I started with the spoken word piece, and then gradually I kind of worked on like a little short film script kind of thing that was loosely based on my my whole experience and relationship with Susanna, that I actually personally really kind of enjoy. I like the story, and again, not to sound vain by any mean, or full of myself or cocky or anything, but I personally do think it's a good solid script. At least I like it. I personally like it better than Boost. I mean, Boost is just kind of like an action filled um, web series. So I mean, it's all fictional shit, and you know, it was just for fun. But this is kind of more close to the heart, so it's a little more intense. But but yeah, so I don't even know when I'm going to do that. I'm still working on the script. Um, More on that later. But anyway, the point that I was trying to make, or that I'm trying to make with this video here, is that I was talking to my boy Umar, and yeah, I got the epiphany, and it just kind of hit me that I'm afraid of love, even though I said that I shouldn't be afraid of love. It's just I started reflecting on not just the Susanna situation, but there were two other occasions where, you know, like I fell in love, or I felt some sort of love towards another woman, only for it to just kind of be either bad timing, or the feeling wasn't mutual. So yeah, like basically essentially what I'm trying to say is, like, all of my love experiences have been not disastrous, but they left a bad taste in my mouth, I guess you could say. So with that, I feel as though it's scarred me in the sense that whenever I get close to a girl, or I feel like I'm getting too vulnerable, or I feel like a girl is getting too close to me, I tend to kind of put my guard up, and this is a subconscious thing that I can't break. I start turning into a jerk. I start ignoring girls. I start being slightly disrespectful. I start throwing temper tantrums, and you know, not Chris Brown in a bitch and knocking a bitch out or something like that. You know what I mean? I'm not doing anything like that. I'm just saying, like, I just, you know, I get moody and whatnot, and a lot of that I think has to do with the fact that I just, you know, I when I get to that point, I don't know what to do. Like, I feel as though, like, it's gonna just end up bad, so I gotta, you know, fuck it up before it gets to that point where it fucks up on its own. So I feel as though, like, if I fuck it up, then at least I'm in control, and I know the outcome. You know what I mean? Like, I was just a while ago, like back in 2012, like early in, like, near the Christmas time, I was like dating. I was seeing a girl for a little while, and then yeah, like, I just, you know, things were good. Like, we were getting along, and like everything was cool and stuff. And then all of a sudden, I just kind of like I got into one of those moods where it was like it was getting too close, and then I just switched. I just flipped the script and fucked that whole situation up. I ruined that relationship, you know, and you know, it was good. Like, we got along great, and then all of a sudden it was just, yeah, messed it up. My fault. And so yeah, I mean, it's one of those things that's really fucked up, because like it's again, like, my main focus right now as it stands is figuring out what it is that I want to do with my life. Who do I want to become? How do I want to contribute to society? And, you know, what am I destined for? Why am I here? You know what I mean? And as of right now, like, with all that, a woman just doesn't fit into that equation for me, because I feel as though it's a distraction, because of the fact that right now I'm just not happy with how things are in my life. Not to say that I'm not happy. I mean, like, I'm trying to be a positive person. Like, I made myself a promise that I was going to be more positive and stuff. So it's not the fact that I'm like here sulking every day, like, about attempting to slip my wrist and shit. Like, it's nothing to that caliber at all. It's just, like, I don't know. I feel as though getting involved with somebody, getting too close, will just have really bad consequences. Because, and I mean, this is just my way of thinking. Like, I mean, I could be told, like, way off base, and like, I'm always keeping my options open and staying open-minded, but at the same time, it's not my initial drive. Like, some people, they go and they're like, they go out to clubs every day, or not every day, but like every weekend, to find that significant other, or like put themselves in social settings where they have a higher percentage of finding that special person. Whereas me, I'm kind of just like, well, I'd rather just stay home and work on my own shit. Like, it's not really a top priority for me right now. Like, I've been single for a while now, and I mean, I'm good. Like, I don't really have any complaints. Like, I know some of my friends, like, they're single, and they're like, it's like someone took away their breathing apparatus, and now they have like seconds to live and shit. Like, they're fiending for that companionship. And for me, it's like, I have my moments where it's just like, damn, man, like, I really wish I just, had a girl just to chill with me and just like, just, text me and say all kinds of nice things and whatever the case may be, you know what I mean? But like, for the most part, like, I don't really care, man. I don't care about that stuff right now. But like, the fucked up thing is, though, like, if I wait too long, if I keep this mentality and like I wait too long, it's like I feel as though all the good women are going to be taken, and I'm going to be left with like the scraps. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you're at like a party, like a small party, and your friend orders a pizza, but he orders like two different kinds of pizza, and he's got like one pizza's got like anchovies and all this other shit on it, and the other pizza has like pineapples and pepperoni and the good shit, right? But you don't like anchovies, but you like the pineapple pizza and everything. The only thing is, you're not hungry right now, so you kind of just chill, and you're just like, okay, well, you know what? I'm gonna wait till I'm hungry, and then I'm gonna devour that pizza, But meanwhile, all your other friends, everyone else around you is hungry as shit, so they like start digging in, and they start taking all the good slices, all the good, like the Hawaiian pizza, and then like not everybody likes anchovies, so by the time you're ready to now indulge in some of that Hawaiian pizza, you're left with them stinking anchovy pizzas. Like, no one wants that fucking anchovy pizza, and so yeah, it's kind of like, that's kind of how I think about it right now. It's like, if I wait too long, then I'm gonna be left with some stanky ass anchovy pizza, and all the Hawaiian pizzas are gonna be married and shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's kind of the thing I think about sometimes. Like, I don't let it stress me out, because again, like, my priorities kind of outweigh any of that stuff indefinitely. But yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, that's kind of my issue. And because a lot of people ask me, like, why are you still single? Like, well, like, what's going on? Like, they just make all these comments and shit, and it's just like, before I could never really give them, like, I would say certain things, like, I'd be like, I'm just, I don't know, I just haven't met the right girl. But that's I guess that's part of it, but it's not the main reason. The main reason is I'm scared of shit. Like, And I think the spoken word thing will kind of explain it in more detail in regards to what happened in those situations where I fell in love and stuff. But yeah, I mean, every time like I said, every time that I've gotten to that point where I was in love or I felt love to some degree, it either started off good and ended bad, or it just always ended bad. So you can imagine, like, when you get into that position where you're just like, okay, like you're about to fall in love with somebody, and then all of a sudden it just kind of blows up in your face. Like, you're like, yeah, fuck this shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's like if you go out hiking in the woods or something, and you get bit in the dick by a fucking snake. You know what I mean? And you just so happen to survive, but now you're afraid to go in the woods because you don't want your dick getting bit by no fucking snake. That shit could have been poisonous and it could have killed you. It's highly unlikely that shit would happen, but I'm just saying as a very weird analogy and example. But, that's essentially what it is. It's like getting bit in the dick by a fucking snake and then being afraid to go into the woods because you don't want to get bit again. That's I don't know where I'm going with that now, man. It's almost 6:00, man. It's getting to that point in time where I need to go to sleep. But I just wanted to share that with you guys. Again, I apologize for it being so long. But yeah. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think about this situation? Like, are you guys in the same position? Like, how's your love life? Like, let's ask you guys. Like, how's your love life right now? Is it cool? Is it great? Are you afraid of love? Are you looking for love? Let me know in the comments section down below. Give me your thoughts. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna get some sleep now. And this beard is really itchy, like extremely, extremely itchy. And my hair looks actually not that bad. Could use a lineup, but I'm digging it. I'm digging the growth right here. Anyway, thanks for listening, guys. I'm your boy Tactics. Peace, and I'm out.